Yes guys, good morning. It is 5:40 in Dubai. It's Tuesday morning and we go home this Sunday. So I believe we've got 6 days left, or 5 full days and then half a day. We've got 6 cardio sessions left in Dubai before we go home, before peak week arrives for show number 1. Here's the view from the new Airbnb. We actually stayed in that tower next to us last year for like 6 weeks, but this is much better. This is a Bing Hatti, and the Bing Hattis are very posh. So we moved outside of Marina and on Ocean Beach Residence, which is like on a palm bit near Marina. The traffic to get to Wellfit in the morning, it'd take 20 minutes to get there, but on a weekday it'd take like 35-40 minutes to get back. So like, bearing in mind we go and do watt bike steps at the gym, get a coffee from Starbucks. We was getting to the gym for 6, not getting home till like 8:30. Whereas now, because we're in JVC, Wellfit is a 5-minute drive there and back. So we get there for 6, we're home by like, you know, if we want to sit in Starbucks for 20 minutes, you can, because you know you're not going to hit the traffic going into Marina. Marina is this way, straight down that road, right. And the apartments there were beautiful, but I wouldn't live in Marina just because of the traffic. Like when we went out for one of our high days for an off-plan meal, it took us like 45 minutes to get out of that area. I ain't about that life. I don't sit in traffic. My name's Luke Blake. I'm not here to sit in traffic. I'm here to make money, fuck bitches being Tony, and have a good life. There's no way I'm sitting in traffic my whole life. I used to do that back in the UK on the M25, you know what I'm saying? So, listen, we're gonna have a good day. Let's go get on the watt bike. And we've not got many cardio sessions left because I'm probably gonna pull cardio maybe Tuesday, Wednesday of the week of the show. But we're super close now. Not in full condition for that first show, but I just want to enjoy it. I just don't want to look out of place on stage in the first one. But that's down to me now to really dig for the next 10 days hard. And it ain't going to be easy, but we've got to keep pushing. And I'm blessed to be out here and to be able to do it. So let's keep working, guys. Make sure you enjoy your day. And I'm probably going to film a couple of meals today. Or maybe not meals, I might do my training because we haven't done a back session yet, so I'll do back and glutes on Tuesday. So we will see. Alright, so on the way to Wellfit now. The reason we signed up at Wellfit is because obviously we'll probably move to JVC when we do move here. It's like a nice David Lloyd, and they got a watt bike, and the watt bike's been great for my knee, absolutely great. I've managed my knee quite well out here, and there's another trick that I want to tell you all about later, which is something that I wasn't able to get hold of in the UK, and I'd probably be able to sell it for thousands if I brought it back, but I've got 3 vials for myself, so it's a little special treat coming up later that I'm going to tell you of how I'm growing the cartilage back in my knee, which there's nothing in the world that does that, so I'm excited to share that. So we're going Wellfit now. We'll get our cardio done. We do cardio and then steps on the treadmill, and then we end up doing like 2k around the mall, 2k steps around the mall as well, because it's quite big. We'll go in Starbucks and then
just before we get to Wellfit.
Yeah, you do 1,000 just to walk to the gym upstairs because it's on like the 4th floor. And it's a nice vibe in there. There's usually like high Roxy classes going on, but nobody's ever been on the watt bike when we go in early. And it's the smoothest thing ever, so much better than a Peloton. I used to use them when I worked at David Lloyd when I was 19. So I'd like to, when we move out here, I'll actually get one for indoors. They're like 3.5k, but mate, best piece of equipment for cardio, because the Stairmaster just ruins your legs. I don't care what anyone says, there's probably 1 or 2 people who can get away with doing Stairmaster, but that's what ruined the cartilage in my knee. So the watt bike's been the best thing for me. So yeah, we've got 6 days left here, and then basically 10 or 11 before I load for the first show. It's going to come around quick. It's going to be the hardest 10 days now. Entering into new territory condition-wise. I'll probably do some check-ins Saturday, the day before I fly. Obviously, I'm going to hold some water on the Sunday, which is fine. It will come off by Tuesday, Wednesday, especially with the lower food at the start of the week. And then basically, show number 1's around the corner. I can't believe how quick it's gone. But Prep A has been 10 million times better, and I can't wait to do an off season and then a pro show prep out here at Dungeon. It's gonna be amazing. Like, Dungeon is the best gym to prep at. Everybody's just on another level, and we're very grateful for everyone at Dungeon that's supported us. It makes the people in the UK and the vibe just look like absolutely terrible. So I'm really happy we've come out here at Dungeon. We've ended up doing like 30 days, so we've done a month out here. I think that's right, isn't it? We've done a month, which is good. So yeah, we'll see you in the gym. So literally 2nd floor or 3rd floor, wherever it is, and the gym is here. That bad boy. It's where all the morning cardio is being done, and it's probably where we will sign up for morning cardio and abs and stuff, stretching, when we move out here as well, because we're probably going to move to JVC. We'll move to JVC, babe? We're going to move JVC, I reckon, just because of the access to here. Obviously this mall and also Dungeon is like 25 minutes instead of 35, and Benoose is closer as well, 15, 20 minutes, just a bit more convenient. And then we're basically, if we want to move after 6, 12 months, we can move, do you know what I'm saying? So let's get this watt bike done. It's weird, like, every time I'm walking here, past week or 2, I've been like, oh, I don't want to do it. Once you've done it, you feel good, so you just got to crack on. You know, you just literally just crack on and do it, regardless of how you feel. It's as simple as that, really. Some people try to overcomplicate it. And if you understand that you feel better after, most of the time, you end up feeling better. So let me show you the gym. This class is always going on. All the Hyroxers and the CrossFitters. You won't catch me doing Hyrox anytime soon. Bodybuilding through and through. I'm not one of these Instagram bodybuilders that decides to lump 4 grams of gear a week, not turn pro, and then jump to doing box jumps and burpees. It's not going to be me. But each to their own. But you know the trajectory that some people are going to go, and that's not me. Coming for that pro card, and then we're trying to get to the Olympia, so let's have it. Alright guys, so this is the watt bike I was on about. Best piece of cardio equipment for prep, absolutely. Level 5 magnetic control 2, perfect, doesn't burn the quads, just pure cardio. So we're going to wrap this up now, do some steps on the treadmill, and head to Starbucks and get a decaf Americano. Okay guys, to the bit that everybody cares about, we are going to run through stack design for prep. What I'm currently running, compounds, dosages, updated dosages, which I've made changes to this week from 2 weeks out from the first show. And I've got my notes on my phone here, so we can kind of make sure everything's perfect. Because I actually did a Loom video for everybody in the chat and run through all of this. Right, this is how we are moving from here. So currently, 2, 4, 6, 10, 12 out. Most likely, my opinion, I think the 6 and the 10, I'm aiming to take what I want there and then be done for the season. So this is current stack design basically, and I'm kind of running out, but I've only got a few more days here, so I've just about brought the right amount. We have got Testy, 250 milligrams per week, dropped from, at the start of prep, 400 down to 300, down to 250. Just to help with a little bit of E2 control, if you want to call it, or slightly less E2, slightly less water retention. However, you can still probably run 300, 400, 500 tests, get peeled and still be dry, but I'm just doing it as a precautionary measure. So test E 250. My DHT of choice, Mast E at 540 per week. DHB went in, I think, 2 weeks ago at 150 milligrams a week. I actually like the DHB, and I'm about to get bloods done out of here. People say it affects their liver enzymes. When I did it in off season, it didn't touch my liver enzymes. GGT, ALT was slightly high from training, but GGT, the bilirubin, all of those important liver markers, they remained unchanged. I think I did DHB for like 8 weeks at the last part of the off season. So I think it's just when people are doing like 300, 400, 500 milligram DHB. Then we've just introduced Curentt Ace at 50 milligram per week. I have Curentt Hex or Parabolin at home because I haven't used Curentt Hex before, but people say that it affects your sleep a lot less because of the ester. However, per milligram, I don't want to explain this incorrectly, but Curentt Ace milligram per milligram is stronger what you get with what you inject. So like, for example, I don't know the specific numbers, but like 100 milligram of Curentt Ace, you'll take 86 milligrams. 100 milligram of Curentt Hex, you'll take 75, and then Curentt M is slightly different. So potentially Curentt Ace is a little bit more potent, but by the time the ester's built up, it's the same drug. However, yes, there are some differences with that ester and the effects on the body. For example, with Deca and NPP, same drug, but the ester is different, propionate versus decanoate. Lots of different benefits or cons to that, to NPP versus Deca. A lot of blood pressure issues with Deca because of the long ester. And if that's in your system, you don't get on well with it, then it's hard to pull it out because it's in your system a long time. Whereas NPP, if you don't like it, you can pull it. Curentt Hex's half-life is supposedly between ACE and an amphate, so you're looking at like 7 to 12 days or something. So I've got Curentt Hex at home basically ready to go, but out here, just because it was easy, I've got Curentt Ace. And if I want to use, because I've got a full bottle here, it's going to last ages, I'm only doing 50 milligram a week. You know, there's 1,000 milligram in there because it's 10 mil times 100. Thank you, babe. Tony's just knocking up the breakfast, which we'll run through in a second. I'll let that cool down. It smells very nice, the salted caramel. So that comes to, that's the injectables, that comes to a total of 990 milligrams per week injectables. That's under 1 gram of gear a week. Now, one thing with me, I do not blow my own trumpet at anything, and I don't like to, you know, I have confidence in myself, but you don't go around shouting off the rooftops what you can do, or just do it and keep quiet. But one thing I am very good at is being spiritually aware of things that I make decisions of. And I always say, since 2020, since the rebuild of me, spiritually, mentally, I have not made a bad decision. What I see people doing in industry, or have done in the past, there's people taking 3-4 grams a week, or even like 2.5 to 3 or 4 grams of injectables per week, and then they don't even do bodybuilding anymore because they'll do high rocks or they'll do CrossFit. They'll have heart attack because they took 4 grams for like 2 or 3, 4 years trying to get to this level. You don't need that much. You don't. But you think you do at the time, and then you mess yourself up health-wise, and then you don't either A, your health goes tits up and you can't bodybuild anyway because you have a toxic look and a toxic body, or B, you fall out of love with bodybuilding because of the drugs and the mental side effects from taking that many drugs and certain specific compounds, and then you sack all bodybuilding off. It's like, well, why did you take 3 or 4 grams a week for that long for, on preps or off seasons, trying to, like, it doesn't make sense. You're ruining your health and your mental health, and then you're not even getting any benefit out of it. And even if you was getting any benefit out of it, it's still not worth it. These people that are doing it are not going to be Mr. Olympia. My aim one day is to get to the Olympia once or twice. I believe I could do it twice with improvement between, because I'm 29 now. But I don't need to take more than 2 grams of injectables per week. In off season, I sat around 1.2. At the start of this prep, 1.2, and then as I've pulled the test down, it's come to 990. It's under a gram. And then don't forget, you've got all the orals that go on top, which is only short term, 2, 4, 6 weeks close to the shows. But it still adds to the total load. And some people are banging the orals in the off season. And it brings that load up to around that 3 gram mark. And some of these people doing it are average bodybuilders because they don't train it, or even if they do train right and eat right, they just ain't got it. And I'm not saying I've got it. Genetically, I'm not saying I'm not a phenomenon. I'm not. I'm just a grafter. But I'm aware enough that the progress I can make on 1 gram to 1.5 grams is good enough for me to go to the Olympia, in my opinion, or at least to turn pro. I can turn pro taking 1 gram to 1.5 grams, whether I'm off season or prep, to turn pro. If I do it this year, I would be successful in what I've just said. I don't need 2.5, 3, 4 grams. And then, like I said, I know people that have had heart attacks and then they'll go on a completely different journey. It's like, what's the point of even giving yourself a heart attack? Like, there was no point in taking 4 grams a week. I think it's because they get with coaches that say, oh yeah, you're going to be at the Olympia, and gassing them up because they're getting money. Stop gassing these clients up that ain't going to make it. And some of them, when they lean down anyway, when they've been on 4 grams, I know people that have been on 4 grams, literally that number, they've put it on their Instagram stories, and they've been doing it for 3 or 4 years before they had health issues, and their health issues hit. And when they leaned down, there's nothing special. They're not even that big. The magic is not in the drugs. It's not. It's the icing on the cake. However, yes, different compounds and different dosages have different effects. I feel good taking what I'm taking at the moment. This hasn't messed up my sleep. I've only been on it 3 or 4 days though, so far, but I think the GH is helping that. So anyway, that's 990 milligrams of injectables, 4 compounds, and that's it. 50 mega trend, most people are going to be doing, these days everyone does 100, 150 because they've learned a lot, but they used to bang 3, 4, 500, 600, 800 mega trend a week. No wonder you want to kill yourself and you can't stand your missus, if you can't stand your job and your life and you're depressed. I once knew a client, he was running 600 mega trend for like 18 months. The guy didn't even look like he lifted. He didn't even look like he lifted. He looked like an average boy. So trend's not going to save you. 50 milligrams are just going to be enough for muscle retention in there, very close to a prep, and training performance, a little bit of aggression maybe. So those are the 4 injectables. Orals, Anavar, 25 milligram pre-workout, safest oral we can use on the market ever. I do it in off season because I love the pump. I do it in prep because it helps with the pump when you're training, even when food's low. I just love the mind muscle connection it gives without any downsides. Again, people are running 50 to 100 pre-workout. I don't think you need that. I think 25 is fine. I might do 50 on peak week. Do you know what I'm saying? Winstrol, Superdrol, not yet. So I'm only doing Anavar. I'll put in Winstrol potentially soon for peak week at 25 milligram as well. Again, people running 50 to 100 with Winstrol, yeah, you're going to get decent cosmetic benefits, but you're going to get those cosmetic benefits from 25. With orals, for me, just use them close to the shows. People doing Superdrol for like 4, 5, 6 weeks. Like, I had a friend in the UK, like his coach had him on Anadrol for like 8 weeks, and then Superdrol for like 4 weeks. You're just cooking your liver. You're cooking yourself. Like, there's no point. Icing on the cake once you've got the condition. Winstrol for that dry, grainy condition look. This is the first time I'll be actually using Winstrol in my life because I've never been lean, never done a show. You got lifestyle clients asking me in my messages, should I take Winstrol? It's like 15 kilos overweight, it's fat. What you're getting out of 50 mega Winstrol, mate, you're fat. Winstrol Superdrug will go in around, maybe Halo, I don't know. I haven't decided. My aim is condition. Right, moving on to the absolute gold mine. Iranian farmer grade growth, Sinotropin. I used it last time I come out here. I get these pens back in the UK for £80. So if we did that, and that's at cost price as well that he does it for me, 80 times, I got 20, I think I bought 12 pens when I come out here. 80 times 27 is £2,200. I got 27 pens yesterday for £580. So that's a quarter, 27 pens. So I've been using, as mentioned in the Loom video, I've been using 10 IU pre-bed, first time I've ever done that. And I do believe it's saving my sleep big time, definitely. Even on the nights that I'm kind of getting a bit jittery at 1, 2 a.m, I can go back to bed. The odd morning I have been up early at 4, but that's just natural on prep. But the growth, 10 IU pre-bed, and I'm actually doing 2 IU pre-cardio as well, just because it's so cheap, and whilst I'm out here, I can use that much. So I've got 3 pens that I will utilise at 12 IU a day, 2 IU pre-cardio, 10 IU pre-bed. And that will last me for this week. And then I've got 24 pens left when I go back to the UK. And if we do 27, so it's 30 IU in a pen, there's 810 IU. If I just do 5 IU in the UK, 5 IU pre-bed, 4 to 5 IU, that's 162 days, which is like, how many days is it? 365 in a year. Right, that's basically it's about 5 months for 580 quid, which is a gold mine. And the Pfizer's out here, which are being discontinued, but they're being heavily faked across the world because they are being discontinued. They're making that Ngella, the long-acting growth hormone, which is no good for bodybuilders. They're still like 150 quid a pen out here, but I think the Iranian ones are cheap because he's getting them in cheap because we're in Dubai maybe. So I get that for £20 a pen, 30 IU each instead of like 80. Some people sell them for 150 in the UK, even as Sinotropins. So like if you said, let's just say you said 120 quid a pen times 27 pens, it's 3,300. And I just paid 580 quid. I think that wraps up the injectables, the oral Anavar, the GH, and then I'll probably put in Winstrol peak week at 25 milligrams, maybe a Superdrol on the loading day for the first show. But then the Winstrol may stay in because I've got 2 weeks between shows twice. But the Superdrol is going to get pulled. I'll do it at 10 milligrams, 10, 20 milligrams. That's only going to go in on loading days and the day before and the day on show day to give that full massive look, like with all the food. So I'm excited for that. So that's pretty much it. Injectables, 990 milligrams a week. And if you want to check my Instagram, or if I can put some photos up here, this is how I'm currently looking as of last week. When I was 3 weeks out in Dungeon, I'm getting some filming done Friday with a videographer. By no means peeled, but we're getting the condition now. And I'm telling you now, because I've never been peeled or even really, really lean before. Realistically, I've been really lean on the last prep. I was like 83 kilo flat as anything, 2022. I haven't been really lean for 3 years. I'm really happy with them. The size and the density that is coming through from all the heavy lifting and the years and years of hinging and squatting, and it's really exciting to see to get that condition now. And I just need to get peeled. Sliced and diced is what Abdullah says at the gym. You get sliced and diced, you'll have no problems whatsoever. So I'm really excited. So that's about it, guys. We've got breakfast here. We've got salmon, 140 salmon, 350 egg whites. And then 80 grams cream rice. First time trying to salted caramel. The chocolate brownie is absolutely absurd with the dark chocolate whey. So I'm going to tuck into this and then we'll catch up soon. Guys, one more thing I wanted to touch on. So this is non-cycle related, but it is an injectable. It's something that could potentially change people's life, but getting hold of it is so hard, not out here. I've got my phone in front of me because there are so many benefits to this, and a friend helped me out with the knowledge on all of this. So thank you to him. He was basically bone on bone with the degradation of his cartilage in both knees, and all these peptides that are out there like BPC, TB500, they don't work on cartilage generally because of the blood flow to that area is very minimal. Things like PPR, hyaluronic acid, they're not going to grow cartilage back or improve cartilage. Potentially the PPR, but there's still not many studies. It's not that very potent at the moment in terms of how it does affect cartilage. It might give a bit of pain relief. My cartilage in my right knee is not as bad as my friend's, nowhere near, but it flares up from time to time. Generally when I'm on prep, doing a lot of steps and a lot of cardio, and the way I do, like when I do leg extensions, just because of the torque that it puts on the cartilage of the knee. And like when I was training legs heavy in off season, I had no issues, but as soon as I start training legs in prep, because I'm doing so many steps, because chondromalacia, which is slight breakdown of cartilage, is an endurance athlete injury. It's like a runner's injury. But for me, the Stairmaster, an hour a day in 2022 is what caused that breakdown of the cartilage, because the quads weren't strong enough to support the knee just being battered every morning and training legs. So I couldn't walk for like 8 weeks, but then it got better. It doesn't recover, but like your body will have a process to where it kind of breaks a little bit of cartilage down and then you'll be out of pain. There is something called pentosan polysulfate sodium, which is what I have here. This is a drug for horses and dogs with osteoarthritis. However, there have been studies done in humans, and mostly for cystitis, which is inflammation of the bladder. But there are a few studies for osteoarthritis in humans as well. You cannot get this in the UK without a prescription from a vet, because you need to have a horse or a dog and they need to see that they have osteoarthritis. So I'm injecting something that is made for horses, greyhounds that run, dogs, which sounds absolutely wild, and I was very skeptical to do it. But all of the research that I've been doing into it, it is the only thing on this planet that will grow cartilage, and my friend has proved that through scans of his cartilage. So I'm just gonna list this off. This is kind of what it does. So in the UK it's called Catcher from Vet, because that's what it is for dogs. Here it's called pentosan, which is for horses. But the actual compound or molecule is pentosan polysulfate sodium, so PPS. So it stimulates chondrocytes to synthesize cartilage matrix. So chondrocytes are responsible for the production of collagen and the extracellular matrix that will lead to the maintenance of the cartilaginous tissues within joints. Stimulates synovial site biosynthesis of hyaluronic acid, which lubricates the joint, inhibits and modulates pro-inflammatory mediators, bioactive amines such as histamine, superoxide free radical enzymes such as elastase, basically bringing down inflammation within that area. Like a BPC wouldn't do that because it doesn't touch an area. BPC is fantastic for everything else. Muscles, tendons, great, works so fast. I've torn muscles before, like only a grade 2 tear, and recovered within like 14 days. I know people that have, tendonitis have been gone in like 2 or 3 days, whereas usually it'd take like 6 weeks. What else? There's a few more bits here. I won't go, it goes very in detail. Basically, it doesn't just get rid of the inflammation like the osteoarthritis gives and the breakdown of cartilage. It doesn't just get rid of the inflammation, it helps you grow cartilage back. The studies on the graphs and the data, I cannot believe they have not released this for humans. I do not know why. I think it's money, because I don't know whether it's like healthcare, physio. There's no peptide, human peptide. Well, they're not all for humans, they're all for clinical trials. There's no peptide in the world, Cartilax, which is supposed to be for cartilage. It doesn't work through the same pathways as this. BPC, TB don't touch it. GHA copper doesn't touch it. PPS is the only thing in this world that can stimulate chondrocytes and grow cartilage, which is absolutely absurd. And there's a PDF on here running through all the studies, how long. I've done 2 jabs of this. and that my knee already feels better, whether that's mental, placebo. I'm about to train legs Wednesday, but do you know what? I've got 3 vials. So 1 vial will last a course. So it's 250 mg per mil, and the dosage for humans is 3 milligrams per kilogram per week. So let's just say I'm 100 kilos. I need 300 milligrams a week for 4 weeks. Within 4 weeks, in the human studies, within 4 weeks, they saw massive improvement in joint mobility, strength, etc. So I'm just going to just do basically 300 for 4 weeks and then save the other vials. But I've actually done 500 milligrams just in case they take it off me at the airport. So I've done like 500 milligrams per week, and I'll be doing that for like 2.5 weeks. The other 2 vials, one in the room and here, they do expire in December. So I might just finish this vial and then do like another half a vial when I go back to ensure that that cartilage is normal. And then I have a vial and a half left. But even after December, like, it's just if I ever need it again, it's probably going to last another year, 2 years. It's just they put expiry dates on medication just because they have to. It doesn't mean, sometimes the efficacy of the drug can reduce slightly, but it doesn't all of a sudden in December go out of date, doesn't work at all. Probably be fine for a year or 2 after. So I'll probably just do like 1 course a year or 1 course every 6 months to keep me sweet, and to the fact that I can grow my cartilage back is crazy. Alright guys, so we're wrapping up the day. Well, not wrapping it up. I'm going to wrap up the video. It's only about 5:10. So I've got a chicken, lettuce and some diced onion meal, just with a tiny bit of barbecue sauce and 70% less fat salad cream. Great combo. When you get this deep into prep, like with the sugar-free ghosts and the sugar-free Gatorades, sauces, the flavour of sauces becomes very enhanced. Tomato sauce, barbecue sauce, salad cream, it's very sweet, tangy, and it can help you get through those low calorie days. Just need to ensure that you're tracking them still calorie wise, keeping them consistent, and that they're not causing any digestive stress or anything like that. But I doubt that. You would know that. If you keep them consistent, your stomach's fine, you're all good. So I'm going to have this. I'm shattered now. By the time it is 5 o'clock, I'm absolutely shattered. We have got to go and finish some steps off. We're going to do it on the treadmill gym. Another 25 minutes. Headphones in, Spotify on or YouTube on. Watch a video. Just mentally switch off. I've edited most of this video. I just need to tag this clip on. all the work's done for the day, and then I've got one more egg white and mushroom meal with a little bit of extra chicken that I saved, just so there's a bit of texture with the egg whites. So I saved like 50 grams of chicken from this meal onto the egg white meal later. And yeah, we're going to go and finish our steps off. Would have clocked about 15k today and get ready for a new day tomorrow. And we have legs. It's my last leg session, last full lower leg session tomorrow. It's going to be a big one, you know, quads, hams, glutes, going to do hip thrusts. But then I'm also going to do full posterior on Saturday, which is glutes and hams again. And I might chuck in a few extensions because my knee's been better. Just to get the lines in my quads in, because I obviously haven't smashed my quads massively this prep, but I want to make sure the lines are there for the stage. So, and then it gives me, you know, 6 days to not train them, because I won't be training legs on peak week, obviously. But yeah, I'm going to get this down me, and I'll see you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video talking about stack design and, you know, kind of where I approach things from and my mindset towards it all. The clips you saw in the gym, that wasn't all the clips. I just wanted to get through the session today. I didn't film everything, but there was some clips there. I tagged on some biceps, and there was another 2 back exercises as well. Basically, guys, we've got to keep our foot on the pedal for 10 more days. You know, and 10 or 11 more days, whatever I decide to do with how many high days I do into the show. And I think we can take off another good 2 kilo body fat off at this pace. So another 2 kilo off from here, we should be looking pretty sharp. So I have a lot of people coming to watch show 1, and I have said to people, like, I won't be at my best, but I'm excited to be on stage in front of everyone that's coming to watch. So thank you for the people coming to watch. Thanks for all the support so far that everybody's given on this prep. I can't believe how quick the time's gone, but out here time just moves so much faster. Like, so fast. Business, training, it seems to go faster than the UK. And I will say this is a massive benefit, right? My last prep in 2022, I hated every second of it. And that's because I was done, obviously, it was done very poorly. But do you know what? As hard as this is going to get, or as hard as it is now, which it hasn't been that bad because we've been out here, but as hard as it's going to get, I haven't once felt like I don't want to prep. And I don't know what that is. I don't know whether it's because we've had a good prep, or whether it's because the goal is so big that, you know, I've been waiting 2 years to do this year, and I know it changes my life for good. I don't know what it is, but there's not one day where I sat there and thought, I'm going to pull prep, or I don't want to do this, or I'm not enjoying it, or even on the days it gets hard, it's not like I don't enjoy it. It's just like, okay, this is hard. Like, let's keep cracking on. Like, I know I'm doing the right thing. It feels right. It feels right in me to continue it. Whereas a lot of people, when they do preps, they do shows for the wrong reasons. They try and push too far. They're misguided, or they make the wrong decisions themselves. Although I definitely want a better starting position for my next prep, as I've said before, because I'll be reversing out of this show perfectly with a professional standard. So I will always be much leaner from here than I have been in past off seasons. I wouldn't have changed much this prep, and I've coached myself the whole way for the last 12, 14 months. By the time I get to the show, it'll be like 18 months coaching myself. So I'm really, really excited. I don't know whether it's the excitement to see if I get what I've worked so hard for all this time. I'm not sure what it is, but it might all change when we land back in the UK on Monday. But I might think, fuck this. But no, that'll be peak week, and then basically you've just got a week dig in, and then the next peak week's there. But when I'm said, really see how I'm doing it, obviously I've told you guys I'm not going to peak for this first show. Probably not going to peak for the following 2, the regional and the PCL London either. So technically that would give me 5 weeks of fat loss from now until peak week of the 18th of October. That's probably how I'm going to land it. If we're ready condition-wise for the regional, then I'll peak for the regional, but that's 3 weeks from now. So we'll see. 3 to 5 weeks is enough time to go from where I am to inside out. I think it's more going to be 4 or 5 weeks. And then I've got a week to peak into the pro qualifier, and then I've got 4 more weeks before the Denmark as well to just get even better and start reversing into that show if we need to do it. So thanks for all the support, guys. I appreciate every single view, every single message, and we keep this train moving. So enjoy the rest of your day, morning or evening, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you in the next one.